Limitations of incomplete records. The first and foremost is there is no proper maintenance of any records because there is no any principle or standard that will be followed in maintaining the books of accounts. Also, only cash and personal accounts are being maintained, right? So here your assets are not being shown, and nominal accounts are not taken into consideration. Second one is difficulty in preparing the trial balance. When the accounts are not being fully recorded, and in that case, trial balance cannot be prepared since it is going to be incomplete or either of the transaction, that is only one aspect of the transaction is going to be recorded. So automatically it is going to be a incomplete record, so there is no point in checking the accuracy of the accounts. Then when we do not have the proper trial balance, the third one, that is true profitability, also cannot be shown because it is going to be difficult for us to prepare the trading and the profit and loss account when we do not have the proper trial balance. Then difficulty in ascertaining the financial position, that is when we do not prepare the profit and loss account, automatically we cannot even prepare the final statements, that is your balance sheet, because your assets and liabilities are not going to be estimated in this type of incomplete records. Then comes in errors and frauds cannot be deducted easily. It is so that when the accounts are not being entered properly, that is when we do not follow the double entry system, automatically anybody can do any kind of fraudulent activities because internal checks in maintaining is not going to happen. Once we have the proof of each and every transaction, and when both the aspects are being recorded, then only it will be easy for us to audit or check the accuracy. And unacceptable to government and other authorities, since it is not the proper way of recording, government or even the tax authorities will not accept this kind of a incomplete record, because we are not going to enter anything which is related to the nominal and the real accounts. So here we are not producing any proper recording of accounts. So government and also the authorities like bank, if we go for any financial assistances, they will not accept the incomplete records. Tax authorities will not accept the incomplete records, since it is not going to show the true profit or loss of the business. So these are the limitations of incomplete records. Then we'll see the differences between the double entry system and the incomplete records. So there are 8 bases of distinction which is given for double entry and the incomplete records. First and foremost is recording of transactions. So in double entry system, we will be entering both debit and the credit aspects of the transactions, right? Because in a transaction we'll take up two accounts and do the journal ledger and so on. But in incomplete records we'll be entering either debit aspect or credit aspect, but in certain cases alone, certain transactions alone, will take up both the aspects of the transaction. Second one is types of accounts maintained. So in double entry we have three classification: personal, real and nominal. We'll follow all the accounts, right? All the three accounts will be maintained. But in incomplete records we are going to maintain only the cash and the personal accounts. Third one is preparation of trial balance. Trial balance is prepared to check the accuracy of accounts, which can be done in the double entry system, but it is really going to be difficult in case of incomplete records. We cannot check the arithmetical accuracy of any incomplete records. Fourth is determination of true profit or loss. So here it talks about preparation of trading and the profit and loss account. We can easily prepare trading and profit and loss account with the help of the trial balance in double entry system, which is impossible, or there is no accuracy in the incomplete record, so we cannot find out the profit or loss in a perfect manner, and it may not be accurate also. Fifth is determination of financial position. When trading profit and loss is not going to be prepared, automatically we cannot even prepare the balance sheet in case of incomplete records. But in double entry system, we can easily prepare the balance sheet and know the financial position. Sixth is suitability. For what type of organization double entry is suitable and single entry is suitable? Double entry system is suitable for all the types of organization. Even sole trader can prepare the double entry system. Okay, but incomplete records can be used only by the small scale business organizations like sole traders and the partnership firms. But again, partnership firms and sole trader, if they wish to follow the double entry system, they can use it. Seventh is the reliability. Since double entry system has a proper principle and standards to be followed while preparing the accounting, it can be very much reliable. Okay, but incomplete records does not have any scientific methods, so it is not reliable. Acceptability. Here in double entry system, income tax authorities, government, and all the financial institutions like banks and other financial institutions also accept the double entry system of recording, but incomplete records will not be acceptable by any users, since it is not going to be the perfect way of recording the transactions.